Hey YouTube, what's going on? Andrew Summers here, coming at you with another description video for one of my vehicles. This time I have brought along with me my version 2 Tumult ACV, or Amphibious Combat Vehicle. Now, if you've been subscribed to this channel long enough, or if you've been a fan of my work on Flickr and Instagram, like I said, this is version 2 of my Tumult design. And in designing this, I did a pretty much complete overhaul of the way the vehicle looks and, well, I wouldn't say all of its features, but some of them. Basically what I did was I looked at the USMC ACV, or their Amphibious Combat Vehicle, the one that's currently or newly in service, and I took a lot of the design cues from that. I really like the look of that vehicle, and I wanted something that would kind of resemble that a little bit without being so much a one-to-one copy. So, beginning with just the general design of it, I was trying out a couple interesting techniques with this build. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to try to get some sloping on kind of the hull. And I'm not just talking about sloping as in the gradual roof slope right there, but I wanted some side sloping like you can see on the roof. So if we zoom in here a bit, and let's adjust our camera a little more, you can see that one of the things I did here was not only did I put cheese slopes here, but I also put them on the underside like that. So that's a bit of stud reversal technique that I used brackets pretty much to achieve. So you can see I'm using some of those modified 1x1x2 brackets here and here. And then on this side, I have another stud reversal technique going on that uses some like 1x1 modified bricks to do that. And I think that kind of mirrors the design look of the USMC ACV fairly well. And it was just kind of a neat technique that I wanted to use, and I actually, to some degree, used it on some other IFVs of mine, which videos on those to come in the coming weeks here. But apart from that design element, you can also see that I've totally changed up the camouflage scheme. I'm using dark gray, black, and dark green now. I used to be using light gray. Obviously the black replaces that. But other things on the model, you can see that I'm cleverly, if I do say so myself, filling up a half plate gap using some brackets here. Got a ladder piece as like a vent detail, smoke launcher, blue plate signifying it's a US vehicle as opposed to my Chinese forces. The racks here, they hold supplies. You can put them in just kind of like that. The only reason I don't have them included for most of this vehicle is that they have a tendency to fall off, like so. So, off to the side there. Rear of the vehicle here, plenty of changes. One thing I really like about the rear of the vehicle is the incorporation of vertical tail lights. Vertical lights are just kind of like my thing these days. I have them on like all of my truck models and fighting vehicle models. So I got vertical taillights. I'm also using these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like swimming assist things for the rear jets here. It is an amphibious vehicle after all. But I got lucky and somehow I have 2 in black in my collection, so I threw them on here. I think they work perfectly as swim jets. Then of course, the rear hatch opens like so. You can sort of see inside here. If I turn the model around a little bit more, you can see that the seating is comprised of, well, I can't really see it, but I'll tell you. The seating system is comprised of jumper plates. So the jumper plates create offsets, which allow me to fit a total of 11 minifigures inside this vehicle. That being 3 crew and 8 dismounts. Kind of an insane figure if you think about it, given how bulky minifigs can be. But yeah, we can button that up and then we can see some of what's going on the rear here. There are 2 hatches, so I can open up that hatch, then I can open up this hatch, and those 2 hatches allow you better roof access and allow some minifigures to stand up and survey the beachhead they're presumably going to invade. Now that we're on the top of the vehicle, time to show off the turret. So the turret, totally different design approach than the original Tumults. This is a lot less squared, blocky. This is more wedged and sleek. You can see that I'm using these brand new wedge pieces right here and here. I got them on I think it was like the Pagani Huayra set that LEGO came out with, or maybe it was some other set, but they go perfectly with the shape of the turret. And you can see also the cannon elevates and depresses, and just the slope that I'm using here almost perfectly matches the wedge slope. So really happy with that, with how that came out. There is a coaxial machine gun right there, and then a 2-tube tow launcher on the side. So love the olive green on there, so I included that. Also some random sensor here, and then, well, yet another random sensor. Been using this sensor for quite a while now. Uses those Ingo tiles, a couple pulled levers through a grill tile. And then if we flip it around, there's also this optic, which uses the helmet and this nifty color. I don't know what it is, but it's like trans purple pearl metallic or something. I think it does really well to kind of mimic some of the reflections you see off of just real-world glass. So, turret also, I should add here, spins a full 360 degrees. And the best part is, if you want to put troops inside, well, that entire turret module comes right off. And then if we flip the vehicle, you can see inside, and you can sort of see what I'm talking about with the grill, not the grill tiles, but the jumper plates going on in there. But yeah, uprighting the vehicle, then we can slap the turret module back on, and we can talk about the front of the vehicle. You can see that the driver has his own dedicated hatch here, and the driver himself has a minifig Brickmania vest. No, Brick Arms vest. So many manufacturers out there, I get them confused. But yeah, simple driver design here. But he's got his own hatch there, including the view window. And speaking of hatches, we can pop this one up here. We can also pop this one up right here. And you can see that the vehicle has an actual engine. Yeah, an engine-looking engine in there. And then when we close them, we can talk more about the front, just a little bit more. Kind of alluded to earlier, the front of the vehicle has a gradual slope. So the slope right here is constructed using a hinge plate right there. Gradually slopes. I'm using a panel piece to complete this kind of like smooth, seamless almost look. And then the bulk of the slope here, I'm using some hinge bricks that just kind of fall down, and the studs of the doors connect into these slopes like that. Then on the very front, you have a vertical headlight design, again with a vertical theme, using some 1x1 tiles, 1x1 plates, and then also some of those nifty 1x1 brackets. And, of course, it wouldn't be a vehicle that I designed if it didn't have working steering and suspension. So the front set of wheels have some articulation there and there. They also go up and down. It's a little stiff, but it works. And then the rear set, obviously, those go up and down as well. So play features are a necessity on all of my models, and steering and suspension just happens to be my favorite play element. So that has been a look at my ACV design here. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.